the game. That'll be in the back of his mind, so he'll know the pressure's on. He needs to pull out a big performance. He's bowled really well as Mujib Zadran. Just 2 balls remaining for his full quota of 4 overs. And he's only conceded 21 and taken the wicket as well of Solomon Mire.
He's shown very good control as well. You know, bowling with the new ball is never easy. The control this young man has shown. His 3rd over was a touch expensive. But the first 2 overs did a very good job. Was in the air, and that's taken as well. That's going to be a very important wicket. The crowds here, the supporters of the Afghanistan side, they are pretty happy. That's a big wicket. The set batsman going back into the hut.
Huge wicket. Good catch by Ashgar Stanik's side, diving forward. It was out the back of the hand, the googly. I think he just picked it at the last minute. Hamilton Masakadza cracked him Peru. But not able to get it square enough. That's what he wanted to do, work it square on the leg side. But he's going to have to go. Another blow for Zimbabwe. 29 for Masakadza, 40 for 2 now.
کشورم و طبیب متخصص و آگاه ضرورت دارد.
تحصیلاتم را عالی می سازم.
میخواهم قضاوت سالم را از اینجا آغاز نمایم.
میخواهم پایه‌های اقتصاد متوازن را رشد دهم.
من مطابق با علوم معاصر و ارتباطات برقی پا میگذارم.
عصر ارتباطات با رسیدن به آموزش تکمیلی لسان بین المللی را حتمی میدانم.
روند این پیشرفت های شما مؤسسه تحصیلات عالی زاول.
So Zimbabwe losing a very important wicket. The new man in is Sikandar Raza, experienced campaigner, 27 matches, averaging just around 30. He's got to improve that average. Strike rate over 100. But he's been good form lately for Zimbabwe. Mujib, he's done a very good job. Oh, Googly. To end his spell, 7 overs gone, 40 for 2.
خپل افغان بسیم سیم کارت په نوي یو سیم بدل کړئ او یو جی بي وړیا انټرنیټ ترلاسه کړئ او له کرانا تیز انټرنیټ څخه ګټه واخلئ. له دې وړاندیز څخه د ګټې پورته کولو لپاره د افغان بسیم تر ټولو نږدې څانګې ته ورشئ.
موږ ویاړو چې افغانان افغانستان سره مینه لري.
So 7 overs gone, 40 for 2 Zimbabwe. Sikandar is just walked in, joining Brendan Taylor. And 19 required of 78 deliveries. The asking rate just going up all the time, over 9 now. Not going to be easy, Alistair, from this stage.
Not easy at all when you know that at the back end you're going to face one of the best in the business in the form of Rashid Khan. Very difficult to score off him, and if you're leaving yourself 10s and 12s to score when he's bowling, well, more often than not, there's only going to be one winner there. So they need to do some damage here. They need a big over. And if they're not hitting boundaries, that's what they need to do. Rotate the strike. Make sure that there's very few dot balls. And if you are taking all your signals and then get a boundary and an over, suddenly you are going at 8-9 to the over, and that's okay. Mujib has bowled really well. That was the googly. All at sea. Solomon Mire trying to heave it away on the leg side. And then another googly, and Hamilton Masakadza only able to flick it in the general direction of Ashgar Stanik's eye, who pulled off a good catch as well. So hard to pick, very deceptive bowler, and he's bowled another good spell right at the beginning of the innings, Mujib Zadran. He did it in the first game, and he's done it again. They seem to have clearly defined roles, these Afghanistan bowlers. And that makes a big difference so far as your setup is concerned. I think you interviewed Rashid Khan the other day, and he says, I know my plan, we all know what we need to do, but hey, if I have to change it, I have to go and bowl somewhere else, I can do it. But he knows that he's going to bowl from overs 11 onwards and finish the innings, simple as that. Mujib knows he's bowling the first 4 overs of the innings. And once you've got that, you can practice with a clear head and you know exactly what's required of you.
Yeah, you're right, actually. You know, your rules, if they're defined, makes it much easier for the players as well. You know exactly what to do. He rightly mentioned Rashid Khan having a chat with me yesterday evening. Did mention that normally comes after the 10th over, and probably that's going to be the case today as well. Mujib opening the bowling with the new ball. He's been very effective. The variations you were mentioning about Alistair, he's been instrumental in picking up those important wickets. And the first 2 overs he bowled, very tidy with his line and length. Now he's going to be an important weapon as well for Afghanistan. The way he bowls, the way he delivers, the armour he's got as far as variations are concerned. Oh, that's pulled away. That's in the air. But wide of the fielder, probably just getting his hands to it.
They should have caught that. Should have caught that. It was a rank delivery. Sat up and said, "Hit me, please." Secunda Raza obliged. But he hit it straight to the fielder. His heart would have been in his mouth. Oh, he's got to take those. Mohammed Nabi, he's better than that. He knows it. He is a better fielder. And he'll be angry that he's put that one down. It's hit him right on the fingertips. Probably give him a little bruise to add insult to injury.
Yeah, that ball was well timed, but surely at this level, those catches have to be taken. Saw the Zimbabwe fielders take some good catches in the death overs in the last few overs. Lucky there for Secunda Raza. Surely he's got to play a good innings here. They need a good innings from him. Wearing his pace, going down the leg side. Slight appeal from Gulbadan.
Yeah, Zimbabwe caught well today, really well. And particularly right on the boundary edge. 3 or 4 catches come to mind. The fielder had the presence of mind to get in a good position and make a safe catch. And Afghanistan in the first game. Themselves with too much to do. Making sure they get the field exactly right. So 3 men out on the leg side, just a man at short fine legs, so vacant areas inside the circle on the leg side. We haven't seen too much turn tonight, so that could be one area that the right-hander can target. There he goes, chipped it into the gap, but he hasn't got enough on it, so just be the single, but definitely possibilities of 2 in that particular area if you get the placement and timing just right.
Yeah, he's wiping the ball as well with that single, the 50 up for Zimbabwe. But definitely Dew is going to be a factor as well, wiping the ball with a towel. Not going to be easy for the spinners. Haven't seen much turn as well. It's a much better surface. Batting as compared to the wicket yesterday, the surface yesterday. Phil Simmons, the coach of the Afghanistan side, an experienced campaigner, the first assignment for him.
Yeah, he'll be excited with the talent he's got to work with. They're all so keen as well to be successful at international level, a good mixture of youth and elder statesmen as well. And that excites any coach when you can come into a setup with people that are raring to go, wanting to improve, not only on the field, but off the field as well.
Team analyst Asad. Ahmed Zai allowed there in the Afghanistan bench. They have a lot of experience there as far as support staff also goes. That's pretty important, Alistair, isn't it?
Yeah, analysis. You've got to be have all the information to make the right decisions as coach, and stats play such a big part in how you go about things in this day and age. So a crucial part of the game is that analysis, making sure you have all the facts and figures at your fingertips as a coach.
Was really impressed the way Sharafuddin even bowled yesterday. Wicket to wicket, giving nothing away. Bowls are at a good trajectory, especially in this format. Does know that he won't get much turn out of the deck here. But the line and length is going to be very important. Let the batsman try and play across the line.
Single off every delivery thus far. And he'll finish with a dart, so great over from an Afghanistan perspective. Just the 5 from it, 54 for 2.
کله مو هم د داسې چټک انټرنیټ ارمان درلود چې ستاسو کارونه نور هم چټک او ښه کړي چې د یو ستر بدلون لپاره هم دې اړتیا ده غټ ژوند ښه ژوند د افغان بیسیم 4G LTE
موږ ویاړو چې افغانان افغانستان سره مینه لري.
The only successful bowler so far for Afghanistan, 4 bowlers employed by the captain, Asghar Stanigzai. Mohammad Nabi now coming in, played really well, played a cameo with the bat. He's been good form with the bat. And at times, Alistair, that reflects on your bowling as well. The confidence you get as an all-rounder when you do well in one department, isn't it?
Yeah, and conversely, when you do badly in one department, you either let it play on your mind and you have a bad day all round, or you have a second bite to get it right.
Very true.
So Mohammad Nabi only used for 1 over, surprisingly, in the first game, but he's got runs tonight. Can he contribute with a few wickets as well? So Graham Creamer, he'll hope he's not got too much to do at the back end of the innings when he comes into bat. Did really well with the ball. Thought captain well today as well. And they restricted Afghanistan to that 158, which I think on this particular surface they'll be very pleased with. But at the moment they have wickets in hand. That's not an issue. But the run rate is just creeping up a little bit, and as soon as it gets to double digits, then it becomes very difficult. In this day and age, 10 and over, 11 and over is something that's very achievable. But you just don't want to let it escalate too sharply. You want to try and do a lot of the damage earlier on, not to let it wait and wait and wait until such time you look up at the scoreboard and suddenly you need 13, 14 to the over, because then it becomes very, very difficult.
You're right. I wouldn't mind Afghanistan with those 5 or 6 runs coming. That's a misfield. That's the last thing you want. The captain on that occasion
puts his hand up and apologizes, just checking if there was a little bad bounce, maybe just poor technique, really. We saw one earlier in the day, Solomon Mire, but that was a bad bounce. Totally went at right angles, and there he's indicating that, not my fault, it went off at right angles. He's the captain, so he won't get too many beady eyes from anybody.
You're right, and as far as the bowling goes, we did mention that even someone like Rashid Khan still to be introduced into the attack. The required run rate with every dot ball will be creeping up. That's going to be adding problems for Zimbabwe as well. Trying a cheeky shot in the air. Oh, has he taken it? Has he taken it? The body language suggests he's taken it, but might be a referee as well.
Well, I think they're definitely going to go upstairs for this. There was a bubble. I'm not so sure he was totally convinced. I think his teammates more so. They ran up and congratulated him. I'm not so sure that he's got the fingertips underneath this one. We'll definitely go upstairs, so there'll be the signal for the third umpire. It'll be interesting to see what the soft signal is, though. And they reckon it's out. They reckon it's out. So there has to be conclusive evidence to the contrary for this to be overturned. Huge decision. And Secunda Raza, he's marching over and wanting to have his 5 cents. But here we go. There's a legal delivery, so there's no issue with that. He tries to play a little touch sweep. Does Brendan Taylor get it fine of the man, Mujib? So there it is, out the middle of the bat. Now then. There's the bobble. So that's not an issue, the second half of the catch. It's just whether he's got the mitts underneath it in the first half. Maybe this angle will give us a better indication. Here we go. Now then, there, it's fine. It's just there. There's some part of the ball touching the ground or not. There is a bit of dew there, so it probably squirts up out of the hand like a bar of soap. Manages to make the grab. My worry is that part there. Is there something under the ball, or is that ball brushing the grass?
Yeah, remember the soft signal is pretty important as well, and that was out, indicated by the on-field umpires. So that's going to be very important. Were the fingers underneath the ball? That's going to be a big question. The latter part, the last part, that's going to be important. That's where the third umpire is checking on at the moment, seeing those replays.
You see the hand come over the top, and that to me suggests that it's hard to have the fingers under the ball. But anyway, Third umpire, it's his call. He wants to be a third umpire. Eh? There we go. He's made the adjudication and he's happy that there was something underneath the ball. And they've got a huge wicket, important wicket. The birthday boy, he wanted to make a better contribution, but he's going to perish in the cause. 15 of 16 deliveries for Brendan Taylor. Zimbabwe now 58 for 3.
یم یم کانتیننتال و فست فود، مکانی دنج و پر از آرامش، تندیسی از پاکیزگی با معیارهای بلند مهمانداری و سطح بین‌الملل، فضای متفاوت و پذیرایی و بهترین وجه با سرویس عالی و پرسنل آموزش دیده، با حضور آشپزان و غذاهای داخلی و خارجی، پیش غذا و نوشیدنی‌های گوارا. در زیباترین مکان پایتخت حضور گرمتان را پذیرا هستیم. یم یم سمبولی از تنوع و غذاهای معیاری.
Zimbabwe just losing some important wickets. 58 for 3 at this stage. Ryan Ball coming in. He'll be at the non-strike as then Sikandar Raza will be the man on strike. When the ball was in the air, they just changed ends. Just one match for him, 8 runs, averaging 8. Can't really judge on that. There's definitely some pressure on him.
Yeah, huge pressure on both these guys. No one in the Zimbabwe lineup thus far has been able to go more than a run a ball. Masakadze was 28 of 29. Taylor there, 15 of 16. They need somebody to hit a few boundaries. Play a cameo. Well, is Sikandar Raza the man? Bit of fortune on that occasion. He's been dropped once, remember. Healthy outside edge on this occasion. Moral victory for Mohamed Nabi, but welcome boundary for Zimbabwe. 10 bowls, 62 for 3.
افغان بیسیم 4G LTE
اوس د 4G سرعت څخه زموږ په دریجی کڅوړو کې ګټه پورته کړئ. 1GB د 800 افغانیو په بدل کې، 10GB د 1100 افغانیو په بدل کې، 14GB د 800 افغانیو په بدل کې. په پیغام پاڼه کې خپل د خوښې GB ولیکئ او 150 واستوئ.
موږ ویاړو چې افغانان افغانستان سره مینه لرو.
Sikandar Raza and Ryan Bill, plenty to do. Run rate 9.7 to the over required, so they're going to need to find a few boundaries. They're going to need somebody to play a little cameo, get 30 odd of 20 balls, 40 of 25 balls. We saw Mohamed Nabi do that. Sharafuddin bowled a tidy first over, just the 5 singles from it, and he starts his second over with a dot ball.
Picked a couple of wickets yesterday, went for runs in the first 2 overs, going away for 28, then pegging things back, picking up 2 wickets. Regional said there was some problems, plenty for Zimbabwe from this situation. Match is delicately poised, and with Rashid Khan to come, but Nabi has already done the damage. He was referred to the third umpire, but then adjudicated out. Big wicket of Brendan Taylor. Beaten again, not finding it working in his favour.
No, there is a bit of dew out there. We've seen all the bowlers rub the ball with a towel, and there won't be much turn. They recognise that fact, and therefore he's just trying to hold flat skidders. He's Sharafuddin and doing it pretty well. And Bill just needs to come to grips with the conditions out there and make sure that he's on the money. Not playing for any turn, playing for the slider. Another one goes past the outside edge. Having a field day out there, Sharafuddin. 4 dot balls in the over thus far. And there's another one. Bang, past the outside edge. No turn, skidding on.
In good pace in the surface. That's helping to the cause. This time suffers across, but not finding any run. Continuing to build pressure and the possibility of getting a maiden in here.
It was 9.7 beginning of this over. It's now 10.5. That's how quickly it escalates when you're not scoring.
Is this the maiden? Works through the onside. It's going to take a single. might push him hard for second. No, just settles for a single. Just one run coming off the 11th over. It's 63 for 3.
روز د پوستکي او ښکلا روغتون د متخصصو ډاکټرانو او پرمختللې ټکنالوژي په درلودلو سره د پوستکي او ښکلا ټول خدمتونه وړاندې کوي. په پرمختللي میتودونو سره د ځواني دانو او لکو درملنه، په لیزر سره د مخ د اضافي ویښتانو، خالونو او سوروالي درملنه، د پی آر پی او میزوتراپي میتودونو سره په تخصصي توګه د ویښتانو د رژیدلو درملنه، د ویښتانو ایښودل پرته له جراحي عمل څخه چې په طبیعي توګه د ودې وړتیا لري، د پزې ښکلا، د لیمو ښکلا او د کاندنې د داغونو د ښکلا جراحي. دا ټول معیاري او با کیفیته خدمتونه یوازې او یوازې په روز روغتون کې تجربه کړئ. روز ښکلا او روغتیا سره یو ځای.
Behind, things can change with the dew coming in, but we'll have to be slightly careful about the prospect of Rashid Khan bowling. Nabi to continue, 1 for 8.
This is exactly the sort of situation they would have talked about not being in Zimbabwe. You don't need to be chasing nearly 10.5, 11 to the over when Rashid Khan's still to bowl. They would have talked about being in a better position run-wise. Reverse sweep in the gap, 4 runs. He plays this really well. Does Ryan Burl. He's very good with the horizontal back shots. But on this occasion, winding up, making sure that he picked his gap perfectly. It was in the air, but it was right in the middle of the 2 behind square on the offside. And once it got in the gap, it was always going to run away to the boundary for 4. Good start to the over. They need to capitalise. Really good over the last one from Sharifuddin. And now, in the form of Mohammad Nabi, they've got to make sure they capitalise.
Ball travelling, zooming across the outfield means we'll get wet. Bit of difficulty in holding the ball. Reverse sweep, not working. Taking the single.
Yeah, he plays it well, Ryan Burl. So I have no problem repeating the dose. He just bowled it a wee bit shorter and a bit more bounce, and that's proved his undoing. That's what they're playing for. If Zimbabwe win, there'll be 2 hands on that, one of Creamer and one of Ashgar Stanikzai. But if Afghanistan win, it'll be 2 firm hands of Ashgar Stanikzai. That'll be on the trophy.
Guides it down to third man, taking the single. So now thinking about rotating the strike. Somehow. 159 to win, 69 for 3 after 11.3 overs. We haven't introduced Rashid Khan yet. Nabi 1 for 14. He got runs with the bat. 40 odd runs in both the matches he's played, and picked up 1 wicket yesterday, 1 today. He's making significant contribution to the team. One bit of change in the field now. Now slightly wider now.
Yeah, just not finding his timing, Ryan Burl. Was all at sea in the previous over to Sharifuddin. Not getting to grips with the ball being a bit wet and skidding on. And he's played 1 good reverse sweep, but apart from that, he's failed really to come to grips with the pitch and the bowling. It'll be a single. That's not really good enough. They need to find a few more boundaries because the rate just keeps escalating. And you saw there also Ashgar Stanikzai previous to that delivery, just indicating to Rashid Khan, all right, son, please come and bowl the next over and the next 4 are yours. And he's done it so many times, hasn't he? Rashid Khan, such a young man, such a old head on those young shoulders, and he knows exactly what he has to do to close out the game for Afghanistan, particularly when he's got 11 runs and over to play with.
Smacks it, and we'll have to settle for 1. Got the protection there on the boundary ropes, on the sweep, on the offside, on the onside also. The men on the boundary ropes. 12 overs gone, it's 71 for 3.
بچه آماده هستین دیگه برای کوهنوردی؟
والا دوستان آمدن هم انسان و مریض هستن. بیاد این منظره را بر احمد لایو استریم کنیم. بچهش منم بتارم لایف برم.
خیلی باش ما از افغان بیستیم برس لایف برم. با سریع‌ترین شبکه 4G از فیسبوک لذت بیشتر ببرید.
ما افتخار میکنیم که افغان هستیم. افغانستان را دوست داریم.
Significant after that. Waller, Moore and Primer to follow. Got some betting to tackle the threat of Rashid Khan.
Waller played well yesterday in a losing cause, got 27, I think, of 13 deliveries or 15 deliveries. He played a bit of a cameo, showed that he can hit the ball to the boundary. PJ Moore is also a decent striker of the ball, so is Creamer, but you have to say, they need a minor miracle now, Zimbabwe, particularly when it comes to trying to score off this bloke. It's going to be incredibly difficult. They're going to have to take risk, and they're going to need a fair bit of fortune.
Yeah, it's a bit of pace there in the wicket back of the hand. Once again, so he's going to come up with those variations. He bowls flatter and quicker, and the additional pace will help to his bowling. Will skid across difficulties. Just a single.
Doesn't seem to have any problems gripping it at the moment. But with Dew, as we've talked about, just seems to be skidding on. There's no real turn there. So as a batsman, you've got to be reading that. You've got to be trying to hit as straight as possible down the ground, use the pace of the ball. And that's where Ryan Bell has struggled a wee bit thus far. Hasn't been able to get to grips with where he wants to hit it, how he wants to go about it. And now he finds himself 7 of 10 deliveries and under huge pressure to get a move on.
Gets the edge, will take single. Just concentrating on working the singles round of Rashid Khan's bowling.
Current run rate of 5.84, so they still haven't got it over 6 to the over. Not good enough, really. You cannot leave yourself this amount of work to do at the end. That was out the back of the hand, the googly, but as you see, no real turn, just drifting on with the arm. 86 of 45 deliveries.
Couple of pointers. One thing is that he bowls system to stump accurate. He's not getting much turn, so they can think about that prospect of using their feet and launching it downfield. We show Masakaja taking on Mujib.
There just hasn't been enough big shots played. We talk about the team with the least dot balls winning a game. That was the old way of thinking, particularly in one-day cricket. Now, in T20 cricket, he hits the most boundaries. Simple as that. You hit the most boundaries, you are going to win most of the time. And at the moment, they seem to be content with trying to get singles and playing the odd aggressive shot. But when you're chasing nearly 12 to the over, you need to be a little more aggressive than this. You need to be finding the boundary a little more regularly than this. Big appeal from Rashid Khan. I think he knew full well that it was outside the line, but just asking the question anyway.
Works away on the onside, another single. Oh, misfield might prompt the batsman to think about the prospect of getting the second run here. No, just settling for a single. 13 gone, 75 for 3.
انستیتوت علوم صحی جامعه کامپلکس با 7 دور فراغت افتخار دارد که برای دور 8 در رشته‌های فارماسی، تکنولوژی طبی، نرسنگ عالی، پروتز دندان، قابلگی عالی، رادیولوژی و انستزی محصل می‌پذیرد. فیس هر سمستر با کار عملی فقط 3000 افغانی. آدرس: سرک کوتسنگی، کمپانی، قلعه جرنی. انستیتوت علوم صحی جامعه کامپلکس پیام‌آور آرزوهای شما.
Strike rotation hasn't been that great, but not many boundaries came either.
Just the 7 4s and 2 6s, so 9 in all. And when you're in the 13th over, you needed to have hit a few more than that. However, all is not lost. They're only 3 wickets down, 7 in the shed, but they need exactly 12 to the over. And it's going to be very, very difficult indeed to go along at 12 to the over with monotonous regularity until you win the game in 7 overs. That doesn't really happen. You need a couple of big overs, ones that go for 18 and 20, and if you do that, mixed in with invariably the odd good over and the odd wicket, then you've got half a chance. So they need to try and take a few risks here to the Zimbabwean batsmen. They need to find the boundary.
Kulbuddin Naib going for 17 in his 2 overs, so he might be the bowler who would be targeted. Swings it on the onside, protection there on the boundary ropes, just 1. Didn't come up with any variation in his first spell with new ball. but he's got good slow delivery also. He's picking it from well outside the off stump.
Left-hand, right-hand combination, making Ash Kostelik's side just think a bit, making sure he's getting field is exactly in the right position.
Want to change there. Square leg is coming inside the boundary. Now 2 men patrolling on the onside, one at mid-wicket, one at long on. Well outside the off stump, and he's found the gap to perfection. Just one bounce into the gap for 4.
Gee whiz, did that go all the way for 6? Well, they signalled for. I just thought it went over the boundary ropes. Hey, maybe I'm getting old. Maybe I need put my glasses on. Wayward from Gulbuddin Naib. Full toss outside the off stump, struggling to grip the ball. And put away by Sikandar Raza. Trying to bowl the Yorker. He's got good variations. Difficult to grip the ball, though, when it is a bit wet. So trying to bowl the Yorker, but not executing. Right, they need a few more of those, do Zimbabwe. 20 or 15 for Sikandar Raza. And they've begun the over well. 5 off the first 2 deliveries. And they need to try and find another couple of boundaries, make this a big over.
Swings it straight down the ground. Got the fielder. Sails over him for a 6.
That's more like it. That's more like it. Sikandar Raza, he knows what's required. And he's been in good form of late as a great striker of a cricket ball. On this occasion, just waltzing down the wicket, getting to the pitch of the ball, full follow through, and easily clears the man at deep mid-off. Really, really good shot. Didn't try and hit it too hard. Just made sure he had enough elevation on it to get it over the boundary.
This time through the onside, might pick up another boundary. 3 boundaries in a row, 2 4s and a 6.
Really good striking this from Sikandar Raza. You'd have to say that it is hard to grip the ball. He tries to bowl the slower ball again. It's a full toss out the back of the hand. Not as in control as he normally is, Gulbuddin Naib, but Sikandar Raza, he's really making a fist of this now. 15 off the over. Has brought the run rate down and brought them back into contention.
Yeah, 2 more deliveries to go. Hits him on the pad, trying to work through the onside. Leg by is the signal.
.16 off the over, 1 ball remaining. Ryan Burl, 10 or 14 deliveries. He really has to pick up the pace a little bit. Can he maximise on this last delivery and get a boundary and take the over to going for 20, which will be exactly what Zimbabwe need.
Dropping the fieldsman back on the boundary ropes at the third man region for left-hand batsman. Square leg is coming up in the circle. He hits it straight down the ground. Not much of timing. Should be back for 2. Fumble, allowing the batsman to complete 2 runs comfortably. 14 overs gone. It's 93 for 3.
بچه آماده هستین دیگه برای کوهنوردی؟
والا دوستان آمدن همه سانو مریض هستن. بیاد که منظره را بر احمد لایو استریم کنیم. بچهش من هم دارم لایو برم.
خیلی باهاش ما از افغان بیستیم برس لایو برم. با سریعترین شبکه 4G از فیسبوک لذت بیشتر ببرید.
ما افتخار میکنیم که افغان هستیم. افغانستان را دوست داریم.
Of runs from the middle overs. Key man has conceded 4 of the first over with a lot of dew in, but the kind of experience and kind of confidence that he has, he will find a method to bowl in these conditions.
Right, this is going to be the over, I reckon. What are they going to do about attacking Rashid Khan? They did it really well in the previous over. 18 off Gulbuddin Naib's over. but it's this. However, they've got to make sure that it doesn't go for less than 8. They've got to try and find at least one boundary, find a way to get him away.
Takes a single. Sometimes it's about thinking. As a bowler, when you get a wet ball in your hand, you think about, okay, I will find a way to bowl. And some bowlers think, oh my God, it's not working. Rashid Khan getting good support. He's a cult figure in Afghanistan. Hero like Sachin in India.
Everywhere he goes around the world. I think in the Big Bash he was the cult hero for the Adelaide Strikers. Really took the Australian public to heart. There's a reverse sweep. Really well done. A good parry by the man in the infield. Stopped a certain boundary. Really difficult as a fielder in these conditions. You've got to get down quickly and low because the ball does skid on. It's the captain, Ashkar Staniksai. He's taken a blow for the team, though. Looks like the chest or the rib cage area struggling a wee bit. But he did make a crucial parry.
So that's what transpired. It's landing in there. So you reckon he can walk in any side? Ricky Ponting put him in the best team in the BBL, getting opportunity there. So you reckon that he can walk in any side in the world at the moment with his leg spinning abilities?
I think you know the answer to that. And the answer is in the affirmative. And I think the bidding wars in the IPL, that's the barometer for me. And that'll tell you a story. What did he go for? 1.4 million? Cool, 1.4.
9 crore Indian rupees. That's a lot of money. $63 to win from 33. Can they find a boundary of Rashid's bowling? No, he's still thinking about working singles.
The method they seem to be employing here, the Zimbabweans, is let's try and get run a ball off Rashid Khan and take advantage the other end. And that means they're going to need to score nearly 16 to 18 runs and over at the other end, which, I don't know, I think that's a bit of a risky method, if that indeed is the method. But it looks at this stage, because he's bowled his 1.4 overs, only gone for 8.
Sweeps it with one hand, manages a single.
Single every ball of the over. So you'll be more than happy with this, Rashid Khan. And if he can just concede one more single of his last delivery, means he would have bowled 2 overs for 10. And Zimbabwe, well, the run rate would have escalated. And that means after this ball, if it just goes for a single, we'll be back to needing that 12 and over. Rashid Khan just having a word with the umpire, saying, how about a ball change? But wait, this. Look, there's a few alarming pieces of seam missing, but the umpire's been around the block. He knows all the tricks of the trade. Tells him to carry on. There we go. Gets that one away. In the gap this time. He's tried a few of those. Ryan Bell on this occasion executes it perfectly. 100 up for Zimbabwe. 5 overs remaining. 102 for 3.
فريش ببداية بار علوم دسمال دقوي جذابیت سره د ترکیه هواد ساخت د ښکلي بوی درلودونکی سل پسلو کې نخي د پورا الاستیک بندونو درلودونکی 12 ساعتونو مقاومت درلودونکی فريش بی ستاسو د ګرانو ماشومانو لپاره بهترین انتخاب.
For Zimbabwe, 44 of 31. Sikandar Raza, I feel, is going to be the key. 33 of 21. He's got a start. He's really batted well. 57 of 30. Just closing in. Last ball, previous over. Very nicely played, improvising. The important factor was the placement. And exactly what he got right there. Played in the gap. Picking up the length very quickly. Gets into a good position as well. And surely the bowler, Rashid Khan, wasn't very happy with that. Joining me in the comm box is Neil once again. Welcome, Neil.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mehra. And 15 overs done, 57 required of 30. It could be anyone's game from here on. It's Mohammad Nabi who will come in to bowl. We saw some fantastic power hitting a while back, and well, that has been received any support in the comm box. So even if we were about to run, we would have stayed back. So it's a 50-run partnership of 35 deliveries that's come between these two, Ryan and Sikandar.
You know, I just feel the remaining 2 overs from Rashid Khan are going to be very important. Ashraf as well, he's got a couple of overs, he's bowled well, 2 overs for just 6 runs. So still, Rashid Khan has got 2 overs, and those are going to be vital. Once again, good running. This time playing with soft hands and back for the second.
110 runs off 3. Playing with soft hands. Running the first one hard and second one equally hard.
Keep an eye on the required run rate as well. Almost hovering around 12 at the moment. 11.76 to be precise. Oh, straightening up. Dot delivery to finish the over. 110 for 3.
چټک ژوند ښه ژوند د افغان بیسیم 4G LTE
اوس د 4G سرعت څخه زموږ په تدریجي کڅوړو کې ګټه پورته کړئ. 1 GB د 250 افغانیو په بدل کې، 3 GB د 400 افغانیو په بدل کې، 15 GB د 600 افغانیو په بدل کې. او پیغام پاڼه کې خپل د خوښې GB ولیکئ او 150 واستوئ.
موږ ویاړو چې افغانان افغانستان سره مینه لرو.
Will decide whether Afghanistan win the series 2-0 or Zimbabwe. They level the series. Sikandar Raza is on 40 of 25. Afghanistan managing 158 for 9 in 20 overs. Nabi doing well, 45. He's had a good match even yesterday. Was player of the match, Mohammad Nabi.
Afghanistan has an unbeaten record in the T20 internationals against Zimbabwe. Might look a little threatening, but not too much with
I think they have to now really fire from both ends, Rayan and Sikandar, because it's taken a bit of time, Rayan. Sikandar Raza, on the other hand, has got a much better strike rate of 160 compared to Rayan, who's got a strike rate of 95. So really, he's got to now get along with things. Not much deliveries remaining. They still have wickets in hand, remember. 7 wickets left in the bank for them.
Played it towards the square leg region, drawing the first one hard, not going for the second one though. Strike back to Sikandar. So this is the record that we were talking about against Zimbabwe and Afghanistan. Last 5 games, they've all won by Afghanistan.
Yeah, one close game at Sharjah, but apart from that, well, it's been pretty good for Afghanistan. A clean record so far for them. Oh, once again appealing, and the finger is up. Rashid Khan did mention that he is going to be a very important bowler here. And that's a big wicket as well. Sikandar Raza, he's got to go back. He's not very happy.
Danger man Sikandar Raza. This one, the googly, didn't read it off the hand, straightening up, hitting on the knee roll, right in front of the middle stump. The umpire had no reason not to raise the finger. Sikandar Raza, 40 of 26. LBW Rashid, a wicket falling at the wrong time. And
یم کانټیننټال او فاست فود د هوساینې څخه ډک ځای او پاکه سیمه له لوړو معیارونو سره نمونه او ښکلی میلمستون د نړۍ په کچه ښکلی فضا او د پاکیزګۍ نښه روزل شوي پرسونل او اشپزانو په درلودلو او ډول ډول خوړو او څښاک سره د پلازمینې په زړه پورې سیمه کې ستاسو په چوپړ کې یم کانټیننټال د ډول ډول او معیاري خوړو رښتینی تمځای.
So it's 111 for 4, and the man on screen, Waller, he is in because of a fantastic delivery bowled in by the man on screen, Rashid Khan.
Let me see, that was a googly from Rashid Khan. And really fox the batsman, Sikandar Raza, trying to play the reverse sweep, trying to improvise, hitting him well below the knee roll as well. Just see where the ball hits him, well below the knee roll. Not a bad decision there. Sikandar Raza, for some reason, wasn't very happy.
Well, yeah, I mean, reaching at this level, he would have thought in his mind to see the team through. But, and more so, as a batsman, LBW decisions are never pleasing.
Yeah, probably just thought that the point of impact was also the line of off stump. Measuring about Waller, 594 runs, decent strike rate, 138. He's got a task in hand, that's played fine. Just pick up one more run here, led by, in fact, the call for the umpire. No bad in that.
He's a smiling candidate, always smiling, always happy. You hit him for a 4, he'll be smiling. Hit him for a big one, he'll be smiling. Takes a wicket, well, the smile's double.
I think that's the confidence, that's the confidence he's got in his abilities. Always makes a big difference. You know exactly what to do, required run rate. Over 13 at the moment. So they need some big shots, and that's exactly what he's trying. It's high up in the air. Man coming underneath. Oh, he's just spilled it. Tried his best in vain. Almost getting there.
These catches are never too easy. Shafiqullah Shafaq running in from the long on region. Had to put in a big sprint and then a dive. He almost had the ball for the longest time and then it just popped off.
Now the reason for that, Neil, you mentioned is didn't really able to latch on to that. At times when the ball is high up in the air, it's dipping, your elbows hit the ground. It's always tough. Just see the elbows hitting the ground, and that's the reason the control was lost there. The elbows hitting the ground, it's not easy.
Meanwhile, a single coming through. These catches, when they're taken, they look very, very beautiful. But then at the same time, there's a lot of effort that goes in from the fielder's perspective. You know, as a spectator, when you're watching on the television, emotions come out and say, oh, you should have taken that.
Yeah, those are not easy at all because he had to run some distance, fair distance. The ball was dipping. Never easy under lights as well. That's a big factor. Trying the reverse sweep. There's a man planted out there. We'll just pick up one more run. Very good over. Successful 115 for 4.
هموطنان گرامی، پروفسور دکتر عبدالرؤوف که متخصص مشهور استخوان یعنی ارتوپدی کشور هندوستان می باشد و همچنان دکتر فاروق بت متخصص امراض داخله عمومی فعلا در شفاخانه رائل در خدمت مریضان محترم شما قرار دارند.
Zimbabwe have to really look for some good overs. They have to close the gap. They have to take a leap now. Remember, Afghanistan, they lost a few wickets in the last few overs. In fact, 3 wickets very quickly. The gap is really increasing all the time. The pressure building on both the Zimbabwe batsmen, Waller and Bryan.
Well, yeah, I mean, Zimbabwe will have to do something which is of the proportion of a vertical jump, break through the worm of Afghanistan to win this one. Aftab Alam comes in, and that is a joyous crowd. They're sensing the victory almost. But then, well, this is cricket. The game of glorious uncertainties, you never know what happens.
Yeah, they're loving every minute of this. Every over, every delivery that's bowled. Afghanistan, they have done well so far. They know all the crowds are very knowledgeable that it's going to be daunting for Zimbabwe, not going to be easy. Ryan, well, he's been there for some time. He's now got to change his gears. 44 of 18. So every over almost, they need a few big shots. This could be the over as well. That's played in the gap to settle for a couple of runs there. Good effort in the deep.
Well, they'll have to target this over. They don't have an option. He's been pretty economic though, after Alam. But at the same time, you cannot go hammer and tongs to Rashid. You'll have to take your chances against after Alam's medium pace. The coach and the captain biting their nails, and definitely not an excitement.
Yeah, I think also the reason is the fact that Zimbabwe really did well in the field, especially the last few overs. At one point of time, Afghanistan were looking pretty good to get it in the region of something in the region of 175, 180. That's a play on the onside. Coming back for the second as well. They're running for everything. Probably he's in. Just in.
Two of this one, the two of previous one. Ryan has been hitting hard. He's running the first one hard and then going for almost colliding there.
Yeah, at times I think the direct hit makes a big difference because one bounce, a throw, by the time the throw came in and Shahzad had to take the bails off, he was well in. Exactly what I thought initially as well. He was comfortably in, doing the basics right, making use of his reach, not out the decision from the third umpire. He was well home.
Well, umpires generally want to just take the precautionary measure and get in touch with the third umpire.
And that's the right option as well, Neil, because once you have technology, why not utilize it? That's the right option.
And this one is a good delivery in the block hole. Well dug out there.
Very good delivery, especially at this time. Every dot ball is like gold dust. You see, going behind, right in the block hole. That difficult, even for a set batsman. Very difficult. Exactly what he's got to try, Alam.
So far a good over, just 4 coming off it. Ryan still playing on the 100 strike rate. This is not going to help. They need 40 of 15, which is almost 3-run a ball. A low full toss, whacked it straight, but it will go straight to the fielder. Only a single.
Yeah, Afghanistan really won't mind those singles, at this stage. What they're just looking for is not to concede boundaries. The singles coming at this stage, they would never mind. Just thought the wicket of Sikandar Raza really changed the tide because he was batting so well. He was well set. That was a very important wicket coming for Rashid Khan. Just changed the tide.
Right, and Waller hasn't played much, just 2 deliveries, is on strike right now at this juncture. For him to create any impact, it would mean that he'll have to put the ball out of the park a couple of times, in fact more.
You mentioned that this over is going to be very important, and so far Alam has done a very good job bowling this third over. He just conceded 15 runs. Remember, Rashid still has an over to go. He's really bowled well. 39 of 14. Not going to be easy for Zimbabwe. Just making room for himself. Once again, just a single. Good over so far. Very good over.
They're picking their fielders and playing to them. It should be the other way around. Pick your gaps and play. 17.5 overs have been bowled. Making room there. And playing it straight to the fielder.
I think what Alam has done well in this over is, one is trying to bowl in the block hole. He's trying to bowl within the stumps. He's not giving much room to the batsman. Remember, on this kind of surface, the margin of error for a bowler is minimal. He's changing his field as well. The left hand and the southpaw on strike, so he's got a man at deep point, deep third man as well. Dropping another fielder in the deep, in the point area. Once again, not timing it too well. Running the first one hard, but we'll just pick up 1 run. That's the end of the over. 122 for 4.
ویتامین سی برای اولین بار از نوشابه‌های ژاپنی در افغانستان.
روز پوستکی او ښکلا روغتون د متخصصو ډاکټرانو او پرمختللي ټکنالوژي په درلودلو سره د پوستکي او ښکلا ټول خدمتونه وړاندې کوي. په پرمختللي میتودونو سره د ځواني دانو او لکو درملنه، په لیزر سره د مخ د اضافي ویښتانو، خالونو او سوروالي درملنه، د پی آر پی او میزوتراپي میتودونو سره په تخصصي توګه د ویښتانو د رژیدلو درملنه، د ویښتانو خودل پرته له جراحي عمل څخه چې په طبیعي توګه د ودې وړتیا لري، د پازې ښکلا، د لیمو ښکلا او د کاندنې د داغونو د ښکلا جراحي. دا ټول معیاري او با کیفیته خدمتونه یوازې او یوازې په روز روغتون کې تجربه کړئ. روز ښکلا او روغتیا سره یو ځای.
So Zimbabwe requiring 37 of 12, 2 overs remaining in this game. It's going to be really daunting for Zimbabwe from here on. Sikandar Raza, well, that was an important wicket out for 40. Rayan is on 28 of 28, but now it really has to change his gears. Rashid Khan coming back for his last over. Been very impressive once again, playing on the onside. Coming back for the second. Really running hard. But the problem is not able to pierce those gaps, not able to manage those boundaries at this stage.
Well, absolutely, and at this stage of the time, it's boundaries that's going to be mattering. Because as much as they run those twos, they would still end up getting 12 off an over, while they still need about 18 an over. So this is not going to help. Look at this one, a relay throw. These lads have been training this during their practice hours. This one has been backed up in the air and would end up into a simple catch. Shafiq is the man who takes this. Ryan goes back. Rashid gets a wicket. And we will be comfortably saying this could bring in curtains to the Zimbabwe home.
I think it's going to be tough now, really tough, because new batsman coming in. That was another important wicket for Rashid Khan. Another set batsman going back in the heart, going for the big one, caught in the deep. Shafiq was the fielder. A good catch under lights, and he's delighted. Rashid Khan getting his second wicket in his last over. Ryan ball out for 30. It's 124 for 5.
فرش ببیدای بار علوم دسمال د قوي جذابیت سره د ترکیه هواد ساخت د ښکلي بوی درلودونکی سل پسلو کې نخي د پورا الاستیک بندونو درلودونکی 12 ساعتونو مقاومت درلودونکی فرش بی ستاسو د ګرانو ماشومانو لپاره بهترین انتخاب.
So losing half the side as Zimbabwe, 124 for 5. Moore, the new batsman who's in. He'll be the non-striker's end. Waller will be on strike. Peter Moore, just 9 matches, 122 runs, averaging over 20, so he's done well with the bat. Oh, that's in the air. And that's dropped by the captain, Asghar Stanikzai. Could have been the third wicket for Rashid Khan. The ball was really travelling, well hit.
These catches in this region, they come in really sharp. They hit your hands really hard. But again, the fact being that there's a lot of dew, the ball would have been wet. And he was not in a stable position when the ball reached his hand. Asghar Stanikzai apologizing.
Yes, go on. 3 to go.
Views of the chairman box at the Sharjah International Cricket Stadium. The dignitaries get invited. Are generally seated there. You get to see the who's who of the industry, cricketing world, and at times even the cinema seated in this box. Meanwhile, Rashid Khan Moore not ready to play him.
Went all the way. In fact, like a fast bowler. Goes in his run-up. Really charged up. Rashid Khan is really bowled very impressively, missing those deliveries as well. Not easy to play those big shots against him. That's the reason we are mentioning that his overs are going to be very vital. 2 for 21 so far for him. Despite the dew factor, he's done a fantastic job for his side.
wiping the ball on and off, and when he doesn't have a towel, he's bowled 3.4 overs, 21 runs, 2 wickets, an economy of 5.73.
And the time he comes into bowl, Neil, and that economy really means that he's done a great job. It's not easy. Coming after the 10th over, he's tightened things up, picked up those couple of wickets. Both the set batsmen, that could be trouble. That could be trouble. Oh, not a great throw. Once again, comedy of errors there. It's all happening here. That should have been an easy run out. Even Rashid Khan is smiling.
This is as silly as this gets. You had the